Today is March 16th. Let's talk about the games happened on Saturday, March 15th, 2025. Saturday, we got about 8, 9 games. The first one is the Celtics beat the Brooklyn Nets barely by 2 points, 115, 113. Porzingis is back, played 31 minutes, 24 points, and one block with absolutely nothing else. This man, on the season, how many games let's see he played? He's 24th ranked player, played 33 games. You know, he's not gonna play over 40. Is he gonna play over 40 games? Let's see. But when you draft Porzingis, that's something you just season after season. This is the same thing he's doing. Just missed a lot of games, but whenever he plays, obviously he's very good. Points, threes, blocks, right? The blocks is obviously his most valuable. Jason Tatum had 20 points, just 28 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists, and Jalen Brown only had 8 points. So who played well in the Celtics this game? Peyton Pritchard went off with 5 threes and 22 points. This is why you can always stream guys like this. Every once in a while, he's going to come in. Guy's going to be out. He's going to play well. And with Al Horford out, right, he's going to get bulk of the minutes off the bench. Sam Hauser hit 3 threes. Not much going on with the Celtics, to be honest. Really, Peyton Pritchard and Al Horford are the two guys that you want to stream. For the Brooklyn Nets, De'Aaron Sharp is absolutely must roster every time with Claxton out. 16 rebounds, had 5 assists, no blocks, no defensive stats, but he played 30 minutes, had 5 fouls. It's overall a good game. D'Lo played 27 minutes, 11 points, and the news came out that Cam Thomas is going to be out for season. Another disappointment for Cam Thomas. It's honestly worse than just be out for season because he played 25 games, 105th ranked player, but he was in your IR spot for a very long time. It probably impact you, like if you have that IR spot freed up, right? You could put somebody else in there. So he was in there for the most of the season. He came back, play 1 or 2 games, and then out for season. Not ideal. But they're still playing Cameron Johnson minutes, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Is great with 2 threes. Dara Williams hit 4 threes, is still on the block. You could definitely stream him, and Keon Johnson had 21 points. Same thing. You could definitely stream Keon Johnson now that Cam Thomas is out for season. The next one, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Detroit Pistons 113-107. Shea had 48 points. He had now that Jalen Williams is going to be out for the next couple of weeks. Shea really has to carry the load, and he just went crazy. 48 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. Supposedly All-Star Thompson is a really good defender, but Shea is just offensively he's just too good. Fantasy-wise, 10 for 10, crazy good efficiency. And for the next 2 weeks, it looks like Thunder is still trying to get the best record in the NBA, so that's really good. And with Jalen Williams out, a couple guys that we should pay attention to. Well, I guess this game, Chet Holmgren is also out. Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace both played over 30. When these two guys play over 30, like 3-and-D guys, you definitely stream them. Cason Wallace is probably a must roster if you play 30 minutes a night, because just the threes and the steals, right? And he got 20 points as well. They really need just offense, to be honest. Kendrick Williams started. He's another guy that we should pay some attention to for streaming, right? 30 minutes of him could also be really good. Isaiah Joe hit 3 threes, but look, he took 11 threes. If you need threes, he's the guy. For Detroit, All-Star Thompson played just 20 minutes, 8 points. He's been a little bit disappointing lately, but if you need defensive stats, you definitely want him. You definitely want to have him on your team. And Kate Cunningham, I think, got an early ejection. Horrible game from him, but Detroit still kept it close versus the best team in the league. Well, second best team. Right, Cavs is probably the best right now record-wise. So still very impressive this year, Detroit. How big of a turnaround that is. JB Bickerstaff did an amazing job. Was he the coach last year? I can't remember, but yeah, pretty amazing turnaround this year for Detroit. Probably the second team after the Cavs, the biggest turnaround this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit 3 threes, while Malik Beasley hit 3 threes. Those are just the 3 and points streamers. And Jalen Duren also pretty bad here with 5 rebounds. OKC is great defensively, so guy's gonna struggle. And Tobias had 18 points. Moving on to the next one, the Indiana Pacers. This is a high scoring game as we expected, 119-126. Miles Turner's no blocks, right? 14 points and 2 threes is okay. He took 10 threes. Tyrese Halliburton had 15 assists and he had a big game. And he was a plus 12 while Andrew Nembhard was a plus 27. Fantasy wise, while Benedict Mathurin, how is he not minus 34 in his 12 minutes? The bench really sold. Aaron Nesmith had 30 points, great. He's a streamer. But the Bucks bench, someone on that team really just hit it off the park. Plus 30, minus 34 for Benedict Mathurin. Siakam also had a great one with 26 points and 2 threes and 2 blocks. That's also pretty good. But Indiana Pacer, fantasy-wise, nobody's really that exciting. TJ McConnell, you could stream him every time Tyrese is out. Aaron Nesmith, I think, just a streamer, although he did pop off here, 6 for 7 from 3. So they shot the 3 pretty well. They still lost to the Bucks because I guess Gary Trent Jr., because Antetokounmpo had a great game, 34 points, still had 3 blocks, made all his free throws, surprisingly. But he's only a plus 2, while Damian Lillard was a minus 10 with 25 points and 6 threes. Brook Lopez only took 5 shots. That's a little very disappointing, 10 points and 1 3. He's been playing really good lately. This game just didn't really get that many shots. The bench played really well. Kevin Porter Jr. coming was a plus 13, had 16 points, 9 for 9 from the free throw line as well. Gary Trent obviously hit 3 threes. And Kyle Kuzma, I just don't know. I guess he's healthy. He's playing. He's got size, over a little bit size over Middleton, but a healthy Middleton is so much better than Kyle Kuzma. It's not even close. And Middleton seems to be playing like 26 minutes on the Wizards now, so I don't really understand what's going on. What made them, want to pull the trigger to trade Chris Middleton? A lot of questions. The next game, the Miami Heat. They lost to the Grizzlies. This one is really not close, even with no Ja Morant. 91-125. Such a blowout. The minutes were low across the board. Nobody really had a good game other than Kel Ware, who played 35 minutes. He has so much upside. He just haven't really put everything together. Right, this game he's good. 11 rebounds and 19 points, but no blocks. Right, we know he can block a lot of shots. He just hasn't done that consistently. Bam Adebayo had 1 steal and 2 blocks, 18 points, while Tyler Hero and Wiggins both just have 8 points. And Kyle Anderson came off the bench. For this team, if there's a back-to-back, there's some of the guys I would consider streaming. Like if you need threes, I would probably consider, stream Duncan Robinson, Devon Mitchell. He didn't get the start, but back-to-back, you need assists and steals. He could be the guy. Triple J had 27 points, 27 minutes off the bench. But you just don't know with the Heat. They change players' minutes way too often, so nobody really needs to be rostered, and just stream if there's a back-to-back. And this is playoff time anyway, so you got to be way more aggressive. Streaming for those back-to-backs, streaming for those 3 games in 4 days, especially stream for players that the category you need. For the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr., he's just so good offensively this year. 31 points here, 13 for 18, and had 2 blocks. That's great. Desmond Bane almost another triple-double. He is a little bit disappointing to start off the season, getting hurt. But he's been really good since he came back from injury. 35th ranked player on the season, which is, not bad. He's not really scoring all that much, only 18 points a game. But a big chunk of it because early in the season, he wasn't even playing 30 minutes. 2.2 threes. That's actually a pretty big drop off because I think years in the past he would hit 3 threes. So he's a lot of driving and kicking. 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists is really good at 1.2 steals. So overall, with pretty good efficiency. Luke Kennard, probably a good stream with Ja Morant out. He didn't have the best game. Same thing with Scottie Pippen Jr. had 11 assists, 2 steals and a block. Probably really good stream with Ja out. Jaren Jackson Jr., we already talked about him, and Jalen Wells had 138 points. Zach Edey had 8 rebounds and 2 blocks. Yeah. This Grizzlies team, um, Santi Aldama was out. Really, Scottie Pippen Jr. probably have the highest upside out of all the bench players, but he just doesn't get a lot of minutes. Like we can see clearly here, he can put up numbers: 6 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, and block. Ja is probably going to play the next game, so we'll see. Moving on to the next one, the Houston Rockets beat the Bulls 114-117. Chicago, they are going to make the plains because the Raptors, they're clearly trying to lose. So I guess they could compete for a ninth seed. So they do have something to play for. So Vucevic, that's good. He's kind of ramped up, playing 30 minutes here. But he's just not, compared to the beginning of the season, right? He used to be like a top 15 player. He hasn't been that. But still, like, he's getting rebounds, points, and threes, and with good efficiency. That's fine. Kobe White played 38 minutes, had 23 points. Not much else. Trey Jones, like I said, he's absolutely must roster. With Josh Giddey out, 6 assists and 19 points, right? Pretty good efficiency as well. Assists and steals is his specialty. If he can add in 19 points, if he can average 15 points even, that would be great. Lonzo Ball is still out, so a couple guys still out. So Kevin Huerter, he keep getting the start. Not the best game, had 4 fouls, but I think in the short term, for sure, he's someone that we could be streaming. They really need bodies, right? Mata's only played 18 minutes. Kind of struggle here. Zach Collins, if you were streaming him, I think it's okay to drop. Now that his minutes just lower and lower, 20 minutes is probably not going to cut it. For the Houston Rockets, they also have Amen Thompson out. This game, Taro Eason is out. So, of course, Şengün and Jalen Green, right? Actually, Fred VanVleet has been playing really good as of late as well. 5 threes here, 7 assists with 23 points. Jalen Green had 28 points, 5 threes. Yeah. The fact that he took 25 shots, right? So pretty good. And Şengün also had a big game with 15 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks and 4 assists. Yeah, it's kind of expected when you have Vucevic guarding you, right? You just get a lot of easy shots. But Şengün's problem is his efficiency. His efficiency is just really, really poor. From the free throw line, as a center, his field goal is also not ideal, and he turned the ball over a lot. Counting numbers for Şengün look really good. Jabari Smith, he got the start because everybody else is out. Look, if you need some rebounds and a little bit scoring, like, you could have him, but he doesn't really. He's just not that good in category leagues. He's got size. Supposedly he should be getting a lot of defensive stats, but he's not really doing that. The next game, the Golden State Warriors. But it's a super low scoring game, 94-97. They just keep rolling. The Warriors, they just keep winning. They keep finding ways to, And the problem with Karl Anthony Towns, he had a great game, by the way. 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists and a block. Because, Warriors, they probably went small. So Cat had a good game. That's to be expected. But Cat, for the longest time, he always had foul trouble. Here, another game with foul trouble. 6 fouls in 30 minutes. So your team really needs you because Jalen Brunson is already out. Josh Hart had a horrible game. 0 for 7, have 0 points, 7 assists, a steal and a block is great, and 7 rebounds. But offensively, he really struggled. OG Anunoby, but I do expect, like, with Jalen Brunson out, like, Josh Hart is going to get even more assists in the short term. Miles McBride, in my opinion, we should definitely roster him with Jalen Brunson out. He's going to play 38 minutes a night. He should be having, like, over 2 threes, 15 points, right? 4-5 assists, a steal or 2 maybe. And that's good enough in category leagues. And, whenever they play a bad team, who knows? McBride could go off for like 25 points. Mikal Bridges had 19 points. Not much going on with the Knicks. We just have to roster Miles McBride in the short term. For the Warriors, Jimmy Butler is just not, we think, well, it's still better when he was on the Heat. But even when he's playing hard, he's just not putting up, he doesn't need to put up the numbers. He's doing the other things that's not showing up on the stat sheet, which in fantasy could be frustrating. 4 for 4, 7 assists, 11 points. It's still good. Draymond Green started at the center, guarding Cat, a steal and a block. Not the best game, but Draymond is motivated. A motivated Draymond is going to get a lot of defensive stats, right? More rebound, probably more assists as well, so that's good. The Warriors team, another good thing about this team is they're an older team, but they're fighting for a seed, so they're gonna play all their guys if they're healthy. And the Warriors actually shot the ball, didn't even shoot the ball well, 31% from three. Curry 4 for 13 from three, still had 28 points, 8 for 9 from the line. So not the best game from Curry, but they got it done. And now they got Kaminga back. They have another guy. He was a -10 though. They can get buckets. That's also really important. Can take some pressure off Steph. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. If you want him to get a buckets, he could. Moving on to the next game, we have the New Orleans Pelicans and the San Antonio Spurs. Two really bad teams, 115, 119, and this is obviously tanking season for the Pelicans. So Zion Williamson was out, and even Missy was out. So they started the center Carlo. He's a guy that we could stream, right? For rebounds and some blocks, no blocks here. 6 for 10, 12 points. It looks fine. CJ McCollum, 26 points, 9 assists. They're still playing him big minutes. Not sure why, but they're still doing it. So Bruce Brown had 19. Yeah, in the short term, I think as long as he's starting, like he has some streaming value. Same thing with Jose Alvarado, especially with CJ out. Jose Alvarado would come in and play 32 minutes. So 5 assists, mainly for assists and steals. That's what he's good for. And Kelly Olynyk, he's also a must roster if he gets 30 minutes. Right, but he's gonna play one game and miss another. That's the frustrating part with some of these teams. But like you could have 1 week and you catch Kelly Olynyk, right? He could really just go off. 14.7 assists, like 6 rebounds. That's pretty good for Kelly. Trey Murphy, they're still playing him. Great, 20 points, 4 threes, and a block, 3 assists. Right, he had 4 fouls, but can't. Trey Murphy, every single year, he find himself in a situation where last year, I think it was the same thing, like the team was tanking and everybody else was hurt, and he was playing good minutes. But the guy, I think, is a little bit injury prone. But in the last 2 months or so, he's been very healthy. Yeah, for the Spurs, this is also tanking season for the Spurs for sure. They're still starting CP3, but you can tell from his minutes, he could be an assist streamer. That's it. 6 assists and a steal, just in 22 minutes. They are starting Stephon Castle, giving him a lot of minutes and usage. In my opinion, he's a must roster. He's been a must roster for a while now. He's gonna have problem with his efficiency, right? He had 3 turnovers here, 5 for 15. Also had a lot of fouls, and he was a -24. So pretty rough game for him, but he should have a lot of usage and a lot of playing time in the next 15 games or so. Same thing with Devin Vassell, right? 4 threes, 3 steals, 22 points. They're playing these guys, so at least they're playing them 30 minutes. I think last year they were playing like even the bench warmers 20 minutes because they don't want anybody to get hurt. Bismack Biyombo played 12 minutes. He's not relevant at all. I don't know. They just start him and just don't play him. Keldon Johnson is another guy actually we could be streaming if there's a back-to-back for sure. For some points, rebound, and threes. 3 steals here, 3 threes, 19 points. It's also decent. Last game of the night is for sure a crazy surprise. The Wizards beat Denver Nuggets on the road, 126-123. And how about Alex Sarr? 28 shots. I don't expect him to take 28 shots in the next season. You just don't see this type of thing happen very often. I think the Denver game plan was okay. Just let him shoot. Just let him shoot basically. And also Denver. I mean, you could argue that they did not really respect the Wizards. It's also one of the reasons they lost. 34 points for Alex Sarr. Great. Is he a must roster? If you need blocks, I would say yes, because I don't really see him do this again. If you were streaming him, that's great. But yeah, at the end of the day, what he offers you is blocks and some threes. But he has really bad efficiency, so we'll see. This is obviously a huge game for his confidence, right? He shot 55% from 3, so that's really good. Jordan Poole hits a dagger, 19 points, but they were limiting his minutes already. played just 30 minutes. So clearly, right, they don't have plans to play Jordan Poole big minutes down the stretch. But if he's healthy, he's going to get playing time. They're trying to give more minutes to Bob Carrington. I think even though he's coming off the bench, we could definitely roster him. He has 7 assists here. In my opinion, Keyshawn George has been must roster for a while now. 3 steals and a block, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 threes. What a game from him. What a game from Keyshawn George. Justin Champagnie also needs to be rostered because Kalabali is going to be out for a couple weeks. 13 rebounds is no joke. 2 steals and 16 points. All the Wizards played really well because Denver, they didn't really, I guess, take them too serious. For the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, 40 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal and 2 blocks, and hit 1 3 as well. Yeah, Jokic, of course, he's doing his thing. But, the fact that Jokic had 40, 13 points, 9 rebounds, he's only just a +6. So defensively, I think Denver's really got to figure out, their defense. Offense for them is not a problem. How can they play defense better? Michael Porter Jr. hit 3 threes, 20 points offensively. That's fine. Christian Braun had 3 steals. We could also roster him, and Russell Westbrook also had a pretty good one. 11 assists and 4 threes. Jamal Murray. Yeah, everybody played well in this game because the score is 126, 123. But given how tight the Western Conference playoff, right? And then after last night, the Rockets actually got the 2nd seed. But if I were betting, right, I'd probably still bet the Denver Nuggets take the top seed. Sorry, take the 2nd seed. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I think Denver, right, they have a lot of experiences for these teams. Home court advantage may not be as important as, for some of the young teams because, it's playoffs. The moments might be too big. So you want to be at home. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.